Presentation Plus is available exclusively with the new 4th edition of Interchange, the most widely used and the most successful English course in the world, incorporating video, audio, and even online resources, all with the click of a mouse. With Presentation Plus, your students will be laser focused on the task at hand as you use the built-in presentation tools to highlight key concepts, reveal answers to exercises, annotate passages, play class audio passages and video segments, and even embed web links right into your lessons. Let us show you how Presentation Plus can help you deliver more engaging and effective lessons. Visit the link below or contact your Cambridge University Press representative for a demonstration today.
Hello and welcome to English for Arab's channel. English for Arab is English for all. Unit 16, Part 1. Interchange 3, 4th edition. Unit 16, Challenges and Accomplishments. 1. Monitor. Watch something carefully and record results. Endangered. At the point of no longer existing. Assisting. Helping. Assisting. Helping. I can make the G silent. Ruler. Country. Not in the city, the countryside, villages. Orphanage, a home for children who don't have parents or whose parents can't care for them. So orphanage, a home for children who don't have parents. Accomplishment, achievement, fame, reputation. Conduct, organize or do something, such as study. Conduct, organize or do something. Conservation, the protection of nature. Reforest, to plant trees on an area of land which has become empty. 2. Rewarding, satisfying, causing good feelings. Aspects, points, areas. Abroad, in a foreign country. Youthful, young. Playfulness, wanting to have fun or good time. Playfulness, have fun, fun. Determining, finding. Developing country, a country that has little money or industry, but is growing economically. Literacy program, a course to teach people how to read. Senior citizen, a person over age 65. Nursing home, a type of home for people who need long-term medical care. Nursing home, a type of home for people who need long-term medical care. Orphanage, a home for children who have no parents. Distract, to make someone stop giving their attention to something. Household, a group of people, often a family, who live together. A group of people who live together. Chore, work which needs to be done regularly. Household chores, housework, work people do to take care of the home, such as cleaning, washing the dishes. 6. Firefighter, T-S-A-F-D. Fireman, a person who puts out fire. Low self-esteem, devaluate himself. Camp counselor. Adaptable, rigid. Compassionate, insensitive. Courageous, timid. Cynical, upbeat. Dependent, self-sufficient. Resourceful, unimaginative, visually impaired, blind, a person who can't see or can't see well, gifted children, highly intelligent or talented children, homeless shelter, a place where people with no home can stay temporarily, non-profit organization, an organization or company whose goal is not to make money for itself, but instead to provide a charitable service. Non-profit organization, an organization or company whose goal is not to make money for itself, but instead to provide a charitable service. Unit 16. Challenges and accomplishments. 1. Snapshot. Volunteer. Volunteer. To work as a volunteer, to do work without payment to help people. What are you interested in? Consider these volunteering opportunities. So I have here 3 pictures, and we have volunteering work in every place. 1. Costa Rica. Here you see a park, a forest, some trees. In Costa Rica, helping at wildlife center, monitoring endangered birds, monitoring to watch birds carefully and record results. So the word monitor as verb, watch something carefully and record results. Endangered bird, endangered birds, endangered, at a point of no longer existing, assisting with reforestation, assisting, helping, assist, help, reforestation, reforest, to plant trees on an area of land which has become empty, teaching computer skills, organizing environmental activities. In Thailand, what about volunteering work in Thailand? Repairing rural roads, rural, the countryside or villages, building schools, designing websites, taking care of elephants, working in rural health clinics. So rural, the countryside or villages, far away from the city. Mozambique. You see here different kids, different children, and there is someone, maybe a teacher. So in Mozambique, what about volunteering work? Building houses, working at an orphanage, a home for children who don't have parents. Conducting health surveys, to organize health surveys, health questionnaires, teaching English, working on a marine conservation project. Conservation, the protection of nature. Now, which project sounds the most interesting or the least interesting? Which of these projects sounds here means seems the most interesting, very interesting, or the least interesting, not interesting? Can you think of any other interesting projects that volunteers could do? Do you know anyone who has volunteered? What did he do? So here you can answer these questions according to your experience, based on your experience.
Unit 16, Challenges and Accomplishments. Page 106, Exercise 2, Perspectives. Volunteers talk about their work. Part A. Listen to people talk about their volunteer work. What kind of work do they do? Write the names in the sentences below.
The most rewarding thing about helping them is learning from their years of experience. Paul.
One of the most difficult aspects of working abroad is being away from my family. Xiaofang.
One of the rewards of working with them is experiencing their youthful energy and playfulness. Mariela.
The most challenging thing about doing this type of work is determining their strengths and weaknesses. Jack.
So here, exercise number 2, volunteers talk about their work. Here we listen to different people talk about their volunteer work. What kind of work do they do? Write the names in the sentence below. So here we have the names of those persons, and we write these names, their names, in these sentences from 1 to 4. For example, number 1, the most rewarding, satisfying, causing good feelings. The most rewarding thing about helping them is learning from their years of experience. So this is Mr. Paul. This is number 1. Number 2, one of the most difficult aspects of working abroad means in a foreign country. Aspects, points, is being away from my family. Xiao Fang. One of the rewards for working with them is experiencing their useful energy, useful, young, and playfulness, to have fun. Marilla. The most challenging thing about doing this type of work is determining their strengths and weaknesses. To decide the points of strength and the points of weakness. This is of course a very difficult thing, challenging thing. This is Jack. Now here we have 4 sentences and we're gonna write the names. Paul, Xiaofang, Marilla, Jack. 1. Teaches in a developing country. So who teaches in a developing country? Of course, Xiaofang. Number 1, Xiaofang. Number 2, tutors in an adult literacy program. Tutors, a teacher for small group, a teacher who gives private lessons. In an adult literacy program, in a program, literacy, this is you don't know how to read and write. This is of course Mr. Jack. 3. Visits senior citizens in a nursing home. Who visits senior citizen? A senior citizen is a citizen over 65 years old. In a nursing home, a place who take care of people who are more than 65 or 65 years old, who are very old. So this is of course Mr. Paul, Paul said the most rewarding thing about helping them is learning from their years of experience. So he talks about senior citizens because they have a lot of years of experience. 4. Plays games with children in an orphanage. Orphanage is a place for taking care of children who don't have parents. So this is of course Marilla. So again the answer, number 1, Xiaofang. Number 2, Jack. 3, Paul. 4, Marilla. B. Which kind of volunteer work would you prefer to do? What do you think would be rewarding or challenging about it? Of course, this is your question, and you can think about a volunteer work that you would like to do. Exercise number 3, grammar focus.
Page 107, Exercise 3, Grammar Focus. Complex noun phrases containing gerunds.
The most rewarding thing about helping them is learning from their years of experience.
One of the most difficult aspects of working abroad is being away from my family.
One of the rewards of working with them is experiencing their youthful energy.
So here in this exercise we talk about complex noun phrase. We said phrase means 2-3 words, but they don't give me a complete thought. They don't give me a meaning. Like when I say the most rewarding thing, so this is more than one word, 2 or 3. It's complex. The most rewarding thing about helping them. Helping, this is a gerund. Gerund, verb plus ing. The most rewarding thing about helping them. So all of this is like, this is a subject, and it has a gerund, verb plus ing, helping, and it's a phrase, a noun phrase, because we have different words, and all of these words don't give me a meaning. So the most rewarding thing about helping them is what? Is learning from their years of experience. So all of this is a complex noun phrase containing gerund. The second sentence. One of the most difficult aspects of working abroad. The gerund here, working, verb plus ing, and we can make the G silent. In speaking we say working. One of the most difficult aspects of working abroad is being away from my family. So this is the complex noun phrase containing gerund, verb plus ing. One of the rewards of working with them is a complex noun phrase, and it has a gerund, working, ing, gerund. One of the rewards of working with them is experiencing their useful energy. So here we have the complex noun phrases containing gerunds, such as the most rewarding thing about helping them is, one of the most difficult aspects of working abroad is, one of the rewards of working with them, and then you put the verb is or are. Okay? And this is the object. This is also, until here, a subject, but it's a complex noun phrase containing gerund.
Okay, so after watching the video and listening to the conversation, we're going to look at our grammar today. And our grammar today is talking about noun phrases, and noun phrases with gerunds. Okay? So we usually use these noun phrases with gerunds to express an opinion about something, right? Often with gerunds we're always expressing opinions. So we basically want to talk about something, and we want to give our opinion about it using our gerund phrases. So when Jeremy asked Emily, well, what's the most difficult part about studying abroad, right? She said, the most difficult thing about studying abroad is making friends. Okay, so she's expressing her opinion about ideas. Now remember, guys, when we use a gerund, it's an ing verb, right? And oftentimes when we do this, we're using it like an idea. We're using this gerund almost like a noun, almost like a thing, right? It's an idea often when we use that. And we don't have any subjects. We just use the verb in the ing form. And we do that to often express our opinions, right? So in this case, she said, the most difficult thing about studying abroad is making friends. Now, we start with our noun phrase here. The most difficult thing. That's a noun phrase because if I look at the word thing, that's a noun. But the entire idea is the most difficult thing, so that's a noun phrase. Then I always use my preposition about. I can also use of to talk about what. What am I talking about? The most difficult thing about, and then my idea, studying abroad, right, is, and then her opinion, making friends. So notice when I'm using these gerund phrases, I'm not using a subject, I'm just using the verb and the ing. And these are basically nouns. These act like nouns in my sentence, right? So, the most difficult thing about studying abroad is making friends. Okay? We have another example that Emily said. She said the best part of living here is trying all the different foods. I guess she's giving her opinion about living here. right? And she's saying the best part, that's the noun phrase, because part is a noun. Then I'm talking about what I'm going to talk about with of. Living here is another gerund phrase. Is, and then trying all the different foods is my last gerund phrase. Again, giving an opinion about this idea. Okay? The last one we're going to look at, she said, one of the challenges of eating all the food is not gaining weight. So again, here's my noun phrase, because here I'm talking about challenges, and a challenge is a noun. Noun phrase is one of the challenges. Again, using of to introduce what I want to talk about, and we're talking about eating all the food, so that's a gerund phrase, and her opinion is not gaining weight. So here I'm using the gerund phrase in a negative form, and all I need to do is use the word not, and then my verb in the ing form. Okay? Alright guys, so to use these noun phrases, you basically only need to start with a noun phrase, and then you use our preposition to introduce what do you want to talk about using the gerunds, and then you express your opinion using another gerund phrase. Okay, so I hope this was a little bit helpful in understanding how we use noun phrases with gerunds, but just remember guys, when we use gerunds in these sentences, we're using them like ideas, right? And we usually use these to give our opinions about something. Alright, so good luck and thanks for watching guys. Bye.
A. Pair work. Match the questions and responses, then ask and answer the questions. Respond using a complex noun phrase followed by gerund. Here you have the questions, and here you have the responses, the replies, the answers of these questions. Let's get them one by one. What is the most challenging thing about working from home? So number 1, G. Not being distracted by household chores or hobbies. Household chores. Distract. What means to be distract? Distract, to make someone stop giving their attention. Household, a group of people, often family, who live together. Chores, this is something that you do regularly. So household chores, housework, work people do to take care of the home, such as cleaning, washing the dishes. So number 1, G. Number 2, what is the best thing about being a police officer? F. Getting to know people from all parts of society. So number 2, F. 3. What's one of the rewards of being a teacher? D. Helping people learn things that they couldn't learn on their own. So number D. 3D. 4. What's one of the most difficult things about being an emergency room nurse? 4A. Dealing with life or death situations every day. Every day you deal with life or death situation. It's a matter of life or death. 5. What's one of the most interesting aspects of working abroad? C. Learning how people in other cultures live and think. So number 5, C. 6. What's one of the most difficult aspects of doing volunteer work? B. Finding enough time to do it on a regular basis. 7. What is the hardest part about being overseas? Overseas, abroad. E. Not talking with my family regularly. So again the answers. Number 1, G. 2, F. 3, D. 4, A. 5, C. 6, B. 7, E. Here we have the question and the answer. Okay, like this, A and B. Then B, group work. Ask the questions in body again and answer with your own ideas. So you can ask the questions and you tell the class your ideas, your answers. Exercise number 4, pronunciation, stress and rhythm. Here we said was stress to make the sound louder, longer, and higher. Higher, louder, and longer. Now, let's start to listen.
Page 107, Exercise 4, Pronunciation. Stress and Rhythm. Part A. Listen and practice. Notice how stressed words and syllables occur with a regular rhythm.
The most rewarding thing about traveling is learning about other cultures.
The most frustrating thing about working in a foreign country is missing friends and family.
The most rewarding thing about traveling is learning about other cultures.
The most frustrating thing about working in a foreign country is missing friends and family.
So here, you notice that the sound at the end of the sentence goes down, but the stress, we stress number 1, nouns, because nouns give me the meaning. If I didn't find the noun or a noun, we stress a verb, an action verb, not helping verb. If I didn't find the verb, we stress the adjective. So example here, the most rewarding thing about traveling is learning about other cultures. So have you stress on rewarding, traveling, learning, cultures. So they give me the main meaning of the sentence. The most frustrating thing about working in a foreign country is missing friends and family. So here are the words that give me the meaning: frustrating, working, country, and here's the verb, the action verb miss, family. B. Per work. Take turns reading the sentences in the grammar box in exercise 3. Pay attention to stress and rhythm.
6. Listening. Challenges and rewards. Listen to these people talk about their work. What is the biggest challenge of each person's job? What is the greatest reward? Complete the chart. 1. Psychologist.
Maybe the biggest challenge for me is listening to people talk about their problems all day. At the end of the day, I'm usually pretty worn out. At times, it can be depressing as well. On the other hand, I do see patients making real progress. It's great to see people really turn their lives around and get on top of problems that they never thought they could deal with.
Number 1, psychologist. The biggest challenge, listening to people talk about their problems all day. The greatest reward. The greatest reward, seeing patients making real progress. Number 2.
2. Camp counselor.
As a camp counselor, it's difficult to find a way to get through to kids with problems and win their trust. Sometimes kids are very suspicious and find it hard to trust an adult, even a young adult. So getting them to open up is the hardest part. Once you've done that, they almost become different people. One of the things I find most rewarding is seeing kids develop confidence and a sense of self-worth. It's especially great to see that happen in a kid who started out the summer with low self-esteem.
2. Camp counselor. Biggest challenge, finding a way to get through to kids with problems and win their trust. Greatest reward, seeing kids develop confidence and a sense of self-worth. 3.
3. Firefighter.
It sounds pretty obvious, but in my job, the biggest challenge is going into a burning building that's full of smoke when you can barely see a few inches in front of you. It's really difficult, especially when you know there are people in there and it's your job to get them out. Once you do get someone out safely, then you feel really great, and you forget about how dangerous the work is.
3. Firefighter. A firefighter is a person who puts out fire. So the challenge, going into a burning building. The greatest reward, getting someone out safely. Exercise number 7. Word power. Antonyms. Antonyms, opposites. Two words which are opposite to each other. Complete the pairs of opposites with the words in the box. Then compare with the partner. So in this exercise we will have 6 words and the opposite 6 words. We have 12 words. So we have here compassionate, compassionate, kind. Cynical, cynical, dependent, dependent, opposite independent. Rigid, timid, timid. This is someone who's shy and nervous. Unimaginative. An means not. Unimaginative, a person who doesn't have imagination. A person who's not creative. So, 1. Adaptable. Opposite, rigid. Adaptable, adaptable, a person who can adapt. Courageous. Courageous, opposite, timid. 3. Insensitive. Insensitive, not sensitive. Opposite, compassionate. Compassionate, kind. Resourceful. When a person is resourceful, skilled at solving problems. Creative, resourceful. Opposite, unimaginative. Self-sufficient. So when a person is self-sufficient, he is independent. So opposite, dependent. Upbeat, opposite, cynical. Upbeat, full of hope, happiness and good feelings. Now group work. How many words or sayings can you associate with each word in part A? What words or things do you associate with adaptable? Adaptable, flexible, easy to get along with. So when someone adaptable, someone who can adapt to different circumstances and conditions in life, he is flexible, he's easy to get along with. Exercise number 8, discussion. Rewarding work. So group work. What are the special challenges and rewards of working in these situations? Would you ever consider working in one of these areas? Why or why not? So would you like to work in one of these organizations? Why or why not? 1. Working with animals. Look at the picture here, a young lady, and she's working with different cats. She has different cats. She takes care of all of those cats. So number 1, working with animals. 2, teaching gifted children. What is the meaning of gifted children? Gifted children, highly intelligent children, very smart children. Cooking food at homeless shelter. What's a homeless shelter? Homeless shelter, a place where people with no home can stay. Working for a non-profit organization. Non-profit organization. Organization whose goal is not to make money. Working in a home for the visually impaired. Visually impaired people who are blind, people who can't see well, or people who can't see at all. So A, I suppose the most challenging thing about working with animals is B, but one of the rewards of working with animals must be. So any student can say his answers. Now that's the end of unit number 16 part 1. Let's get the homework. Number 1, keep the words by heart. 2, listen and repeat. 3, watch the video of Mr. Kyle Rolofson, the grammar video. 4, go to www.cambridge.org/interchange. 5, answer 3 pages of the workbook, Unit 16, Interchange 3, 4th edition. Finally, hope you like it, share it, and subscribe. Thanks for watching and good luck!